Portuguese police have told BBC Panorama they have apologised to the parents of Madeleine McCann for the way they handled the case.
After more than a decade of heartbreaking uncertainty and agonizing searches, the case of Madeleine McCann, the young girl who vanished from her family's vacation villa in Portugal in 2007, has taken a stunning turn. In a remarkable discovery that has stunned the world and brought a glimmer of hope to the McCann family, authorities have announced the stunning news that the long-lost child has finally been found, bringing to a close a mystery that has captivated the hearts and minds of millions. Join us as we explore the new findings about Madeleine, which chose to happen after 17 years. The unclear stories surrounding Madeleine's disappearance have been under public scrutiny for a very long time, so this recent revelation concerning her whereabouts has sparked more speculations than you can imagine. So get ready, let's dip in. Overview of what happened. The McCann family was holidaying in Portugal with a set of friends on May 3, 2007. Similar to numerous parents, the McCanns tucked their 3 kids into bed in their apartment before heading out for dinner nearby, checking on them regularly. Around 10 p.m., Kate McCann realized that her daughter Madeleine was not there. This discovery caused a surge of fear, prompting an extensive hunt across the resort. In spite of the immediate search for her, the young girl could not be found, starting a long and difficult trial that would go on for years. The case immediately attracted global interest, with media channels across the world covering each update. The McCann family received a lot of support from the public, but they were also under close examination. Some people doubted their choice to leave their kids alone, while others guessed at the details of Madeleine's vanishing. At first, the Portuguese police thought she may have either strayed off or been taken by a stranger. Yet the inquiry became controversial when the McCanns were implicated as suspects themselves. Despite being cleared later on, this incident caused a major shift in the course of the investigation, leading to a critical loss of time. Over time, multiple leads and theories surfaced, including alleged sightings of Madeleine in different countries and baseless rumors about human trafficking networks. Private detectives were hired, authorities got involved, and even spiritual mediums provided their perspectives. In 2011, the Portuguese authorities re-examined the case, and soon after, the UK's Scotland Yard started their own investigation called Operation Grange. Even with extensive efforts put into the investigation, no final answers have been found. And the frustrating aspect of the situation is the large amount of misleading information. Every now and then, there seemed to be a new discovery that could potentially solve the mystery of the case. There were reports of Madeleine being seen or people who looked like her, additional suspects being questioned and reanalyzing forensic evidence. Every time, optimism was revived, only to be dashed again when the inquiry came to a standstill. During this chaotic journey, the McCann family stayed determined in their belief that their daughter was still living. They held on to optimism, despite the progress happening around them. Nearly 2 decades later, the possibility that Madeleine McCann has been found is a significant and surprising advancement. The idea that the truth could eventually come to light after many years stirs up a complicated combination of emotions including relief, sadness, and anxiety. The McCann family might finally find answers to their long-standing questions, bringing them relief. Regret comes with this possible solution, as the time wasted cannot be recovered. Anxiety persists, based on the worry that this might also turn out to be another incorrect clue. The latest development fueling optimism involves the discovery of Christian Bruckner, a German man currently imprisoned for a different crime. Who is this new suspect? The atrocities of Bruckner. Bruckner, a known offender with a criminal record in various European countries, was living in the Algarve area of Portugal when Madeleine went missing. Investigators have collected proof linking him to the area where she disappeared on the night she went missing, and in 2020, German officials named him as a suspect in the investigation. Nevertheless, reconstructing the timeline and gathering sufficient evidence to substantiate allegations of his participation has been a lengthy process. The notable aspect of this recent advancement is the supporting evidence that has come to light. as reported, supporting that he was involved in the kidnapping of Madeleine. His phone records show that he was contacted on the evening she went missing, providing more evidence of his presence in the vicinity. Investigators are actively seeking further evidence by searching properties linked to Bruckner in both Portugal and Germany. The focus of these investigations is to find any physical proof linked to Madeleine or to confirm Bruckner's role in the crime. Many observers believe that this new suspect is the first credible explanation in years. Bruckner's previous criminal history, his close proximity, and the overall circumstantial evidence all point towards the possibility that he could be the one behind Madeleine's disappearance. Nevertheless, in spite of these positive advancements, a major obstacle still exists. These obstacles seem to be blocking a free investigation for this case. The proof required in these cases is substantial, and it could be challenging to definitively prove Bruckner's guilt without a body or undeniable forensic evidence. However, the potential discovery of Madeleine or the identification of her kidnapper represents a crucial moment in the story of this case. It forces society to think about the wide-ranging effects of her vanishing and the insights it has provided on child abductions, law enforcement, and the impact of the media on public opinion. Challenges to the investigation. One of the major outcomes of a possible finding of Madeleine is the focus it brings to the challenges and barriers encountered in global inquiries. During the time after she went missing, the investigation was greatly hindered by the lack of cooperation between Portugal and the UK. Language obstacles, distinct legal systems, and different focuses on investigations led to delays and missed chances. The media's role in this case is extremely important. From the beginning, her vanishing story made international news, with every new update closely analyzed by the media. This increased level of examination brought about positive and negative outcomes. On the other hand, it ensured that her tale stayed relevant in conversations with the public, stopping it from being forgotten. Public awareness campaigns, such as the well-known Find Madeleine posters, gained global popularity. On the other hand, the strong attention from the media also encouraged widespread guessing and occasionally exaggerated journalism. The McCann family was subjected to continuous media scrutiny, with some sources spreading baseless claims that damaged their reputation and caused great emotional pain. The McCann's potential implications of this breakthrough have a significant personal impact. The possibility that their daughter has been found at last is a mix of joy and sadness. Despite maintained belief in Madeleine's survival, they have suffered through the prolonged agony of not knowing her fate. A resolution, no matter how tragic, can offer a sense of finality. If it is verified that Madeleine has truly been located, her family will experience a significant emotional effect. While the search for solutions may be nearing an end, the process of healing is expected to be prolonged and difficult. Moreover, this case is a striking example of the lasting influence of optimism. For 17 years, the world has been waiting for answers, and during this time, the McCanns have consistently held on to their resolve and not given up. Their determination, bolstered by support from the public and attention from the international community, has been essential in maintaining the investigation. This constant determination could eventually lead to justice for Madeleine. Her case's durability serves as proof of the importance of persisting in the search for missing individuals, regardless of the time lapse. This scenario is a clear indication of how easily children can be targeted and abducted. The child's vanishing has led many families to reconsider their safety procedures, particularly while traveling. Moreover, it has increased knowledge about the dangers of child trafficking and predatory people. If it is proven that Bruckner is truly at fault, his previous criminal record may result in a call for stricter supervision of offenders and better monitoring of their travel between countries. Moreover, the public's response to the possible finding of the child is expected to spark a fresh discussion about justice for long-term missing persons. Relatives of disappeared individuals often encounter difficulties in maintaining awareness of their loved ones' situations in the public eye, especially as time goes by and media attention wanes. The family has been lucky in this situation, receiving an unusually high level of attention that not all families receive. Implications of public exposure. The potential outcome of this situation could lead to more backing for other cases of people who have been missing for a long time and raise public awareness of continuous efforts to find those who are missing. One of the key aspects of this case is its power to urge the international community to face the idea of hope in the face of difficult challenges. Hope persisted over the years through occasional sightings of children who looked like the missing child, through investigative efforts that promised answers but ultimately disappointed, and through the unwavering resolve of her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann. Their unwavering faith that their daughter could still be alive has served as a key driver in the continuing search. Their decision to stay in the public eye during this difficult time has been both a gift and a challenge, and the emotional strain of being so visible for a long period. The McCann family has been under intense media scrutiny, which has helped keep the public informed, but has also led to constant speculation and unfounded accusations at times. It is unfortunate that parents of missing children are often viewed with suspicion simply because of their close connection to the situation. Society often avoids recognizing the reality of parents being involved in such terrible crimes. As a result, public debates may be clouded by feelings instead of being based on logical reasoning. The situation of Madeleine McCann showed that the intense media coverage of her vanishing had both positive and negative consequences. It made sure that her portrayal and story were seen by people all around the world, leading to her being known in different countries at all times. This level of global attention in missing persons cases is rare, and definitely helped keep Madeleine's case in the public spotlight longer than most others. On the other hand, some media coverage driven by tabloids spread fake information, rumors, and speculation as if they were true, causing confusion and distractions during the investigation. The McCann case was filled with sensationalism, including conspiracy theories and baseless allegations, which created a cloud of misinformation that hindered the search for truth in some ways. Furthermore, one should not overlook the influence of the internet. The rise of social media and online forums happened at the same time as the disappearance of Madeleine, allowing people to interact with the case in novel ways. Some online communities work to keep the search going by sharing updates and possible leads, while others spread false information or support baseless theories. The situation has garnered significant attention from hobby detectives and conspiracy believers, with a close scrutiny of the investigative techniques in the digital realm. This digital age trend allows people with computers or smartphones to have live discussions about ongoing investigations, adding complexity to missing persons cases. Public involvement can provide important new perspectives. However, it can also cloud crucial details and divert attention from reliable leads. The global aspect of the search for Madeleine has also exposed the differences in law enforcement procedures in various regions. Portuguese authorities were criticized for their handling of the case's early phases, mainly focusing on the speed of their communication with international agencies about the kidnapping. Similarly, British law enforcement authorities also faced their own challenges at a later time. Taking on responsibility for different parts of the investigation highlighted major differences in culture and procedures between the two law enforcement agencies, leading to friction, delays, and misunderstandings. Throughout the years, this situation has underscored the crucial need for increased global cooperation and improved procedures in cases of missing persons, especially those that cross borders. Kidnappings of children, especially those that cross borders, pose unique difficulties. Law enforcement often struggles to align efforts among various jurisdictions, facing obstacles such as differences in laws, language barriers, and conflicting investigative priorities that hinder collaboration. The McCann case has highlighted these problems, showing the concern felt by families of other missing children as they saw important clues being ignored. While some progress has been made in promoting global collaboration, The ongoing difficulties in solving this issue are a stark reminder that more steps need to be taken to guarantee the prompt return of lost children, no matter where they are. German authorities' involvement has played a major role in this ongoing situation. Now let's get to the actual origin of everything. Maybe we can find some truth there, how it all started. On Thursday, the 3rd of May 2007, the family's holiday was nearing its conclusion. During breakfast, Madeleine inquired, "Why didn't you come when my brother and I cried last night?" Following her disappearance, her parents speculated whether this indicated that someone had entered the children's bedroom. Additionally, her mother observed a significant brown stain on Madeleine's pajamas top. The children spent their morning at the resort's kids club, after which the family enjoyed lunch at their apartment before proceeding to the pool. At 2:29 p.m. that afternoon, Kate captured the last known photograph of Madeleine, who was seated by the pool alongside her father and 2-year-old sister. The children returned to the kids club, and at 6 p.m., their mother escorted them back to apartment 5. While their father attended a tennis lesson. The McCanns put the children to bed around 7 p.m., with Madeleine resting in her short-sleeved pink and white Eeyore pajamas from Marks & Spencer, accompanied by her comfort blanket and a soft toy named Cuddle Cat. At 20:30, the parents departed from apartment 5A to enjoy dinner with friends at the Ocean Club's open-air tapas restaurant, situated across the pool. The direct distance from 5A to the restaurant was approximately 55 meters, however. Accessing the restaurant required a walk along a public street to enter the Ocean Club resort, followed by a passage through the resort to the opposite side of the pool, totaling around 82 meters. Although the top of the apartment was visible from the restaurant, the entrance doors were not. The patio doors could only be secured from the inside, prompting the McCanns to leave them closed but unlocked, with the curtains drawn, allowing them to enter in this manner while checking on their children. Additionally, there was a child safety gate at the top of the steps leading from the patio, and a low gate at the bottom that opened onto the street. The resort staff had proactively left a message in the pool reception book asking for the table with a view of the apartments to be reserved for the McCanns and their friends at 8:30 p.m. for the last 4 nights of their vacation. This table had become a popular location for the group, enabling them to dine while watching over their living arrangements. The note also stated that the group's children were sleeping peacefully in the apartments, giving the parents a sense of security while they went out for the evening. Yet Kate McCann had a growing suspicion that the kidnapper may have seen the note, potentially exposing their regular schedule and the fact that their children were briefly left alone. This worry was a major burden for her, particularly considering the situation of their vacation. The McCanns and their friends had a routine of leaving the restaurant every half an hour to make sure their kids were safe, balancing their enjoyment of the outing with their parental responsibilities. At approximately 21:05, Jerry McCann was the first person to inspect their apartment, specifically apartment 5A. Upon entering the apartment, he discovered the children fast asleep and everything seemed to be in place, giving him a brief feeling of comfort. Nevertheless, upon examining the room, he observed something that sparked a sense of unease. He distinctly recalled leaving the bedroom door slightly open during his previous check, yet now it was almost completely open. This little thing bothered him, making him close the door almost completely before going back to the restaurant and rejoining the group. Madeleine McCann's mysterious disappearance in May 2007 captured the attention of the media, not only in the United Kingdom, but also around the world, drawing parallels to the intense coverage that surrounded the tragic death of Diana, Princess of Wales, in 1997. The case became a focal point for both traditional news outlets and emerging digital platforms, leading to a frenzy of speculation and sensationalism. As the search for Madeleine unfolded, her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, found themselves at the center of a media storm that often turned hostile. They faced significant public scrutiny, with many tabloid publications and social media users leveling unfounded accusations against them. suggesting that they might have been involved in their daughter's disappearance. This relentless scrutiny was exacerbated by the nature of tabloid journalism, which often prioritizes sensational stories over factual reporting, leading to a narrative that painted the McCanns in a negative light. In 2008, after enduring years of distress and public vilification, the McCanns, along with their friends who were vacationing with them at the time of Madeleine's disappearance, took legal action against Express newspapers. They were ultimately awarded damages and received formal apologies from the publisher, acknowledging the harm caused by the false allegations and intrusive reporting. This legal victory was a significant moment for the McCanns, as it not only provided some measure of vindication, but also highlighted the need for accountability in the media. Considering how serious this case is, do you think the witnesses for this case are doing well enough? Witnesses report. 7. Witnessing a man carrying a child on the night in question became a key aspect in the early phases of the inquiry. Tanner left the restaurant around 9 p.m. to look in on her daughter, running into Jerry McCann on Rua Dr. Francisco Gentil Martins as he came back from his 9:05 check. Despite stopping to talk to a British tourist, both people couldn't remember seeing Tanner. This puzzled the Portuguese authorities because the street was narrow, making them think Tanner might have made up her story. Tanner told the police she saw a man carrying a child cross the intersection of Rua Dr. Francisco Gentil Martins and Rua Dr. Agostinho da Silva around 9:15 p.m. The man was spotted near Madeleine's room heading east, moving away from the front of apartment 5A. During the first stages of the inquiry, the relevance of his trajectory was emphasized as it pointed towards the home of Robert Murat, a 33-year-old British-Portuguese individual residing close to apartment 5A, who later emerged as the primary person of interest in the investigation. The child being held by the man was dressed in light pink pajamas, adorned with a floral design and leg cuffs, reminiscent of those worn by Madeleine. Tanner characterized the man as Caucasian, with dark hair, standing at approximately 5 feet 7 inches tall, exhibiting features typical of Southern European or Mediterranean descent, and estimated to be between 35 and 40 years of age. He was noted to be wearing gold or beige trousers paired with a dark jacket, and Tanner remarked that he did not appear to be a tourist. Investigation and questioning. Kate reported that Tanner relayed this information to the Portuguese authorities immediately after Madeleine was reported missing. However, the description was not disseminated to the media until May 25th. Subsequently, Madeleine's fund engaged a forensic artist to produce a likeness of the man, which was made public in October 2007. The sighting grabbed a lot of interest as it gave investigators a possible time frame for the abduction, giving them a ray of hope in figuring out the events related to the case. Nevertheless, as the inquiry continued, Scotland Yard eventually deemed this observation to be a misleading lead that could shift attention away from more important clues. In October 2013, officials revealed that a British visitor had been recognized as the person spotted by Jane Tanner, who was heading back to his lodging after collecting his daughter from the Ocean Club night creche. This discovery was crucial, indicating that the person Tanner spotted was not a kidnapper, but actually a blameless parent. Scotland Yard acquired images of the individual showing that he was wearing clothing matching or similar to what Tanner had described on the evening in question. The pictures depicted him in a stance very similar to Tanner's description, providing more evidence that the sighting was misunderstood. Additionally, his daughter's pajamas were in line with Tanner's description, further supporting the accuracy of the identification. Detective Chief Inspector Andy Redwood, the lead investigator of Operation Grange, believed the alignment of details indicated that the Tanner sighting was most likely not connected to the abduction. This endpoint emphasized the intricacies of the inquiry, pointing out how initial clues can occasionally result in deadlocks and the need for meticulous examination in uncovering the truth in such a prominent case. As the investigation progressed, it became apparent that although the Tanner sighting had appeared hopeful at first, It ultimately highlighted the difficulties law enforcement encounters in differentiating between credible tips and coincidental sightings while seeking justice. Apart from Tanner, it wasn't long another witness surfaced. Other witnesses. Witnesses told the Policia Judiciaria that multiple men were acting strangely near apartment 5A before Madeleine McCann went missing, as well as on the day she disappeared. These findings caused worry for people in the area, leading Scotland Yard to propose a theory that the individuals may have been doing surveillance in advance of a possible abduction or break-in. This theory was additionally supported by a noticeable rise in criminal behavior in the region, specifically a substantial spike in burglaries that multiplied in quantity from January to May 2007. The recent increase in crime at the McCann's apartment block is concerning, with 2 burglaries happening before the disappearance, both involving entry through unlocked windows, indicating a security weakness. In addition to the suspicious behavior of the men, multiple witnesses reported encounters with individuals soliciting donations for various charitable causes in the vicinity of apartment 5A. On April 20th, a disheveled man approached a tourist in her apartment near 5A, aggressively requesting funds for an orphanage that he claimed was located in nearby Espice. However, it was later determined that no such orphanages existed in that area at the time, raising further questions about the man's intentions. The witness described the man as aggressive and intimidating, which added to the unease felt by those in the area. Moreover, on April 25th or 26th, the tourist who had rented apartment 5A prior to the McCanns made a startling discovery when he found a man on his balcony. This individual had accessed the area via the steps from the street and was described as courteous and well-groomed. Interestingly, he too solicited donations for an orphanage, echoing the earlier encounter and suggesting a possible pattern of behavior among these individuals. On the day of the disappearance, May 3rd, the situation escalated further when 2 men were observed conducting 4 separate charity collections in the streets surrounding apartment 5A. This unusual activity, combined with the previous reports of suspicious behavior and the recent spike in burglaries, contributed to a growing sense of alarm among residents and investigators alike, as they sought to piece together the events leading up to the tragic incident. The convergence of these factors painted a troubling picture, raising concerns about the safety of the area and the potential for criminal activity that could have culminated in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. By May 2nd, an individual described as an ugly man with blonde hair was observed across the street from apartment 5A, seemingly monitoring the location. This individual had also been spotted on April 29th in proximity to the Ocean Club, raising suspicions about his intentions. On April 30th, the granddaughter of the previous owners of 5A encountered a blonde-haired man leaning against a wall behind the apartments. This encounter was unsettling, as she later saw him again on May 2nd near a tapas restaurant, where he was again looking at 5A. She characterized him as Caucasian, in his mid-30s, with short-cropped hair, and described him as ugly, noting that he had blemishes on his face, which contributed to her negative impression of him before she started missing. In the days leading up to the disappearance, there were several other sightings that added to the growing concern. On or prior to the day of the disappearance, a man was noted gazing intently at the McCann's building where a white van was parked, suggesting he was taking a particular interest in the area. This observation was alarming, especially in light of the subsequent events. On the afternoon of May 3rd, a girl on the balcony of the apartment above 5A observed a man exiting through the gate below. He appeared to have come from a ground-floor apartment, and she noted that he looked around cautiously before quietly closing the gate with both hands, as if trying to avoid drawing attention to himself. This behavior was peculiar and added to the sense of unease surrounding the situation. Earlier that day, at around 14:30, 2 blonde-haired men were seen on the balcony of 5C, an unoccupied apartment located just 2 doors down from 5A. Their presence in the vicinity of the McCann's apartment was concerning, especially given the context of the ongoing observations of suspicious individuals. Between 16 o'clock and 17 o'clock, another blonde-haired man was spotted near 5A, further compounding the sense of a pattern of unusual activity in the area. At 18 o'clock, either the same man or another blonde-haired individual was seen in the stairwell of the McCann's building, which heightened the alarm among those who were aware of the previous sightings. Following the disappearance at 23 o'clock, two blonde-haired men were observed in a nearby street engaged in a loud conversation. This added more tension to the plans that went without notice. Theories and speculations. Numerous theories exist regarding the fate of Madeleine, with various experts suggesting the possibility that she may still be alive. One hypothesis posits that Madeleine could have been abducted and forced into a trafficking network. Given that her remains have not been located in the 17 years since her disappearance, it remains plausible that she is still alive. Some investigators argue that as a white child from an affluent nation, she would have been perceived as a high-value target for both traffickers and. The incidence of trafficking has been increasing in Portugal, and the country's geographical position provides abductors with convenient escape routes to other nations. Alternatively, some theorists propose that the young girl may have inadvertently interrupted a burglary, leading to her abduction and subsequent murder by her captors. Christian Bruckner continues to be the primary suspect in this case. In June 2024, authorities uncovered his Hotmail account, which they assert is directly connected to Madeleine's disappearance. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.